Man on dogs, man on! Should be man on dogs, go Hibsy! Go Pat, well done Pat! Awesome work, Katie Lawrence! Go Cat! Come on, mate!
When do you go to Melbourne? Is it Saturday or?
Friday night, come back Sunday morning.
You're going Saturday night?
Yeah, Saturday night, getting up 7:35.
Right time.
Yeah, there was no way. If you like place of mistakes,
I wouldn't mind you did I think so. Another place where that place needs to be so
Well, there is, but I think it's going to be better. We'll probably have to have the room
Set up, boys, set up! Feels good, Maxie. Mike right here, mate. Cable! Cable! Go right, go right!
Where is that thing? I don't know. What's the blue thing?
Well, I haven't got all the movie channels anymore. I've got them all cut off. I wasn't watching them, but I'm not paying anymore. So I've got that British channel one. I've got World News, and I've got Channel 150, which I think shows now, you going upstairs over there to do it or not?
Bad timing.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Scottsdale for NTFA Women's Football. It's round 4 of the season and it is Scottsdale up against South Launceston on the live stream for you this afternoon. Looking forward to what should be a tight battle between these two teams given the results across the opening month of the season. I'm Andrew Calling. Joining me to call this one is Bo Downham. Good afternoon, Bo.
Good afternoon, Drewy. Good to be bringing this one to, should be a cracking game. As we said, it's going to be third versus fourth rather. South Launceston in the third spot with 2 wins. And Scottsdale looking to get their second win, Drewy.
Yeah, if we look at the results they've had this year, it kind of augurs towards a pretty close game, I'd have thought. Should be one that both teams will be up and about for a good chance to get 4 points early in the year. Certainly looks like Deloraine are the team to beat in the NTFA from the early going of this season. but certainly reasonably open after that. And a good opportunity for 4 points and to create a bit of separation perhaps for South Launceston today. Scottsdale will look to draw level on points with them if South Launceston do get up. They'll be able to put a little bit of a gap there in the early going, but still feeling our process of the season. So looking forward to seeing what we get here this afternoon at Scottsdale. It is a flawless day, nearly a cloud in the sky. They're just about ready to get going. So we're underway. Freestone wins the early hit out. Kick forward there by Hines, but turns it straight over. Going the wrong way though, so an opportunity for South Launceston through Gillow. Launches it long. Oh, just spilling the mark was Richards. To clear the danger here, shanked the kick a little. Tackle laid by Hines and locks it in there.
Quick start again by South Launceston. I think she might have just forgot which way she was going in the end there, as the tap down is won by Richard. She is looking to get a couple of snags today. Slung around in the tackle is Sulzberger. That'll be holding the football, so free kick going the way of the Magpies. It'll be a kick out of defence to the arc. Nearly taking the mark was Mason, just bobbling at the wrong time, but a teammate comes in support and just hacks it out of the area for the time being. Pick up from the Dogs. Well, they're going nowhere. It was Davies who will be taken in that tackle.
Freestone wins the hit out. Taps it towards the paint of 50. Climbing on top Bruard, but handball blocked off. Trying to get it going is Mather. Just hands it off there to Krushkas. One way then the other, but coughs it up to Bruard, who has her kick charged down. Handball fired back to Hall. Hall brought down by Bruard again. Hot in the kitchen early on here. The Magpies now with a chance to try and get some clear possession. Krushka out into space. Spinning out of trouble there, Kelly. Oh, sorry, it was Vardy, and she's caught holding the football. So an opportunity for South Launceston to go forward here. The handball finds the target, and they'll drive it inside the forward 50. And a couple to find there. Cocker couldn't quite get to it. They find the safety of the line. They'll instead opt to just dart back inside. Spinning round was Hall. Just got the handball away. Cracks in. And driven deep into the pocket. Off hands. Coming out now, Harrison. She's going to run out of room here, I think. Decides to keep it alive. Handball back towards Hancock. Just towed off the ground. In the direction of Gibbons. A little 1-2 there. Gibbons, they're working in a phone booth there, but they work their way out of trouble. The kick not too convincing. But they're able to clear the area. It'll come right back at them though. Blasted deep inside the forward 50. Off hands, maybe an opportunity here. Following up is Williams, just paddled away. Kicked off the deck, but kicked straight into the path of Morrison, who straightens up, fires, and almost a mark. The dish was a good one, found a target in Williams, and Williams steers through the first of the afternoon. The pressure pays off for South Launceston, and they open the scoring.
Yeah, scrappy stuff. I mean, both of these teams looking to draw first blood, and it was South Launceston. It was a very good goal from Williams, just squared up and made it a very, very good effort in the forward line for South Launceston. So first blood going the way of the Bulldogs. Very, very early goal. I mean, it was scrappy stuff to start with, but they got there in the end. They got their prize with some of the hard work, and you're right, the pressure was maybe a little bit too much as Kate Mather taps this one down, just pulling through the hands of Hines. She's been good early. She'll go back and get her own football. Down on all fours, flicking the hand pass up is Freestone. Support comes, and she just got stripped by Hall. The skipper who laid a nice tackle. Will be a free kick going the way of Alex Hall, right in the centre of the ground. Wheeling and going to drive them inside forward 50, or just on the edge of it. Kick works out good to Viney. Viney wheeling and going with a long kick inside forward 50, nearly. It was Rice, I think it might have been, who really took the tackle, and Stewart's wrapped up and going nowhere. It's a deep entry inside forward 50 for the Magpies. As the tap is one down, in there is Kelly. It'll be a ball up inside forward 50.
Scottsdale looking to tie things up here. Irwin palm down. Bust her way through Bruard. Turning away with that is Farrell, who just guides it offline and get the bounce shoes after, so their first scorer behind.
Yeah, scrappy start to this game, Drury. I mean, as soon as they got that goal, South Launceston, it sort of evened things up. It was living down that end, wasn't it?
It was, as they look to rebound here, but just turned it over straight down the throat of righty Kate Mather, who takes a strong mark, imposing stuff there. Maybe too far out to score though. Slaps it on the boot and finds a marking target inside the 450. And a chance here for Farrell. Go back. Kick. Scottsdale's first of the afternoon. Sends it on its way. Just offline, so a minor score only. A second behind. 4-point lead away of the Dogs early on.
Like a pretty good kick off the boot, but just hooked it. So we see Ashley Corbett to bring this one in, the vice skipper. The kick was scrubby and put her teammate under a lot of pressure. Just being taken in the tackle was Hogarth, but mopping up in defence. Who kicked that ball out was Corbett. Kick in the direction of Morrison. She couldn't quite reel it in. She's got some good pressure by Mason. Flicking the hand pass off was Hines. Back to Hines. It's a snap. It's a left foot kick right on the teeth of goal. They keep it in by way of Farrell, but boundary line beats all comers, and we'll see a throw in deep inside forward 50 for the Magpies, looking to get their first goal of the day. Couple of big bodies in the ruck. We'll try win this one down. Irwin winning the tap down. Rucks Roves her own football. Flick the hand pass off there to Kelly. Nice little shepherd and go. Irwin back to Kelly. It's a hooking ball right in the middle of the forward line, but they couldn't quite make anything of it. As we see Hall flicking the hand pass off. Too hot for Hogarth. And there'll be a tackle. We'll see a ball up.
Good spell of sustained pressure here for Scottsdale. Can it lead to their first goal of the contest? One down by Freestone. Able to get clean possession, just kind of paddling it along the ground, gaining a few metres, but eventually the ball recaptured here by the Magpies. Mason under pressure though, was just forced off the football, turning back away with it. Viney sends them inside the forward 50 once more, spoiled away, back into dispute, trying to break free was Corbett, just got a handball away. Clear and kick out of defence, might be able to build something now through Gillow, has a dash through the middle of the ground, sends a tumbling ball out towards the forward line. Situation under control at the back though. Behind the football, Hancock. Eventually, they'll work it out here. Option wide. Tried to find Mason, couldn't quite do so. Just chopped off there. South Launceston having absorbed some pressure, now looking to do some damage to their own back the other way. Corbett sends it inside the arc of 50. All back into dispute here. Handball doesn't quite clear the area. Lurking on the outside, Davies got to it, got a kick away. It was half smothered. The Magpies able to repel, clear and kick out there towards Gillow, battling away with Viney. Viney takes it, got her hands free and then flicked it across to Krushka. Krushka dances around another, returns it to Viney. This is good football here from the Magpies, but in a bit of trouble now. Mather has to get rid of it, did so. Got it to Timperin, sends it inside 50, finds Irwin. They just kept chaining handballs there. Leads the mark, perhaps too far out though is Irwin. She'll drive it towards the teeth of goal and finds Hogarth. And it's a passage of play that deserves a goal. We'll see if Georgia Hogarth can finish. She won't quite have the journey, just held up in the wind a little, drifted towards the pocket, and that's a shame. It's chopped off by Woods after a promising piece of play.
Woods at fullback. It was a good piece of play there. They just caught themselves in a bit of a jam as this one is brought down by Hogarth. And we'll go taking the hand pass off and going down this outer wing. Here is Freestone, has a bit of a run and a bounce, but the bounce didn't quite sit kindly for her, just running into a little bit of Magpie pressure by way of Rice. Caton Mathis stripped in the tackle, and Advantage is called by the umpire, so they'll send them forward once more. A high kick inside forward, 50. It's a good mark. It was taken, I think, by Sherry as they go towards the teeth of goal. Right out the back is Sulzberger, but she's wrapped up Rainbow right in the teeth of goal. It was good stuff there. It was Cocker rather with that near mark as she taps this one down. Nice. Shepherd laid. Williams is lurking around. Already kicked one. Ball bobbles out now to Sulzberger, but shanks the kick wide and we're out on the full.
So, past the 10-minute mark here. South Launceston leading by 4 points, but a pretty even opening to this one. The team's having some time in attack. South Launceston able to find a major early on. Defence has held up well at the other end, but a chance perhaps to do some scoring of their own as that kick's turned straight over to Freestone. Wastes no time, sends it back towards the teeth of goal looking for Cocker. Situation was well defended by Hancock, towed it away only so far as Freestone tries to shrug free. Her handball was shut down. Umpire whistling there, saying that didn't get a hand to the ball, Freestone. Pinged her for incorrect disposal, and fair to say she disagrees with that decision. Scottsdale, Freestone almost winning back a free kick of her own there. Just got the handball away in time. Rainbow was shut down. Freestone again from the impossible angle, almost Cocker. Tumbling around in a dangerous area. Hancock might be well served just to try and get to the line here. Instead it'll be held up and a ball up deep in attack. South Launceston probing, looking for their second of the contest. Just taken out of the ruck, almost on a post. Cocker, but the tackle just got her in time. A goal saver there. Still a danger here, slapping on the boot and just missing was Sulzberger. It drifted. Looked a certain goal, but a minor score only as it hits the post.
Yeah, it's been all South Launceston to start this game off. It's been living down in that end. As we see Hancock to drive them out of fullback. Kick was not too great though and turned over. Going back the way of the Dogs. Freestone with a high kick. It's good. And it ends up in Liana Freestone's hands, the skipper. She'll be looking for goal number 1 today and to put the second on the board for the Dogs. Good lead up, good mark. Under a little bit of pressure from the defence. So Freestone to get her first. And to extend the lead, she goes. It looks pretty darn good. Goal umpire barely had to move, and that's her first of the afternoon. South Launceston get their second, 2-1-13. 0-2-2 Scottsdale. It's an 11-point lead, and South Launceston have definitely looked the better team to start this game off, Drewy.
Yeah, Scottsdale had that kind of 5-minute period where it was down their end. They were testing away but couldn't get a goal to show for it. South Launceston looking a bit more threatening inside the forward 50. Been able to take advantage of the time up there, get their second of the contest. But Scottsdale, just the last 4 or 5 minutes, they've had real trouble exiting defensive 50. They've turned the ball over about 4 times. It's just come right back at them. It's kept the defence under so much pressure. Eventually, the damn wall had to burst, as it duly did. Scottsdale will look to get it forward here and mount an immediate response as they'll send it inside 50 and find a marking target, but just spilling the beans was Stingle. Quickly got boot to ball out the back. Was looking for Hogarth, couldn't quite bring it down. She'll follow up though, might be able to get one. Fires out the handball. The snap is looking good. It's there. It's Bonnie Farrell who snaps home. An immediate response for Scottsdale. Classy finish, got the bounce she was after, and that's just what the doctor ordered as they cut the margin back to 5 points instantly.
Yeah, very, very quick goal there from the Magpies. No one on that last line of defence though for the Dogs. Just got through. As you said, back to 5 points now. Ball game on our hands in the dying stages of the first term. About 4 minutes left. This heavyweight bout, third versus fourth. As we go back into the middle now. Kate Mather and Freestone will do the ruck battle. Freestone winning it down. Krushka burst through the middle, but apprehended very swiftly by Freestone. Ball up right on the bullseye. Tapped down by Freestone. A couple of Dogs just didn't help themselves out. Davies and now Krushka can pick this one up and go. She's a big ball in that midfield and is a very good player for Scottsdale. Kick nearly landing in the lap, of Stingle, and Viney's taken in. Two-man tackle as they kick off the ground. It works out to Freestone. Right to the arc of 50, but kick was a little bit too hot to handle as ball bobbles out now to Harrison. This came in from Hines, and Krushka can try pick this one up. Just went to ground, but on all fours just kind of walked with the football on her knees, and an interesting piece of play there by Krushka. Will be taking in the tackle and holding the football as they try to drive themselves forward again here. South Launceston, not long left in this first term as it bobbles out. It was intended for Breward. Had a fresh area though. Very scrappy stuff at the moment through the hands there of Doohan. Right to the arc of 50, and the clearing kick was good. It landed in the lap of Krushka. Nice driving ball to the edge of the 50. Hogarth put her opponent under the football. Farrell who just kicked that goal, tapping onto herself, but left it behind for Viney to do all the work, and picking this one up is Corbett. And half-back free kick going to the Dogs.
So they'll look to build from half-back here. Sets it into the middle of the park. Was looking there for Gillow. Couldn't quite find her. Ground level taken away by Krushka. She's immediately besieged. The umpire says holding the footy. Wide they head, floating just out of reach of Freestone. She'll battle for it at ground level again. Just paddles it out, but paddled it straight to the opposition. Doohan's kick, charge down and deflects out of play. Eventually, tossed back in by the umpire. Late in quarter number 1. 5 points in the margin. Tight game developing here in Scottsdale. Tractor humming in the background. This is tossed back into play. One down by Freestone to the opposition though. A chance for Hines to get a clearance, but that kick was well smothered. Freestone takes it, slung a handball, just found its way to Gillow, who sides through and then drives it up in towards the 450. Good strong mark taken there by Imogen Richards. Richards wastes no time, just sets it up. Almost Cocker, couldn't quite. The snap roving by Sulzberger. He's again offline. This time won't score at all. A couple of times Cocker's brought it to ground Sulzberger's road, but just hasn't quite had the finish by.
They're working in song at the moment, but as you said, they can't quite piece that last play together. Cocker's a big target down there forward. She's good over the head by the looks of it. Bringing ball to ground in the ruck. She'll be taking on Harrison. Deep into this first quarter, rather. Harrison picking up there is Richards. Kick just got smothered. It's scrappy stuff as it bobbles out to Breward. Out to Krushka. They're pushing ever so slightly to the teeth of goal. Pushing her opponent over, though. I think it might have been Richards, and we'll see another throw in. In fact, it was Freestone. So ball up. Not too far out from goal. Cocker winning the tap down. Rucked and rove and had a fresh airy. And there will be the siren for the end of the first term here. 1-2-8 to 2-1-13. Your goal kickers Bonnie Farrell for Scottsdale, Liana Freestone and Emily Williams for South Launceston. Scrappy stuff to start this encounter off, but it's sort of been played down both ends, really. I mean, it's been trapped in there a couple of times for a passage of minutes, but both teams, when they can get their hand pass game and the kick as well, really good stuff. But as we said, it's been scrappy early.
Yeah, it certainly has. It's been a game where both forward lines have done a pretty good job locking it in, and both defences have stood up pretty well under pressure. So South Launceston have just shaded things, but Scottsdale have certainly shown some threat. They had a couple of good passages of play, but yeah, a game very much not played between the arcs. There's been a game played in the arcs at either end of the ground. Both teams have been able to get outside, transition it pretty well. Just who's going to be the more efficient inside forward 50, and we'll see how that plays out in the quarters to come. But we'll take a quick breather and be back shortly with quarter number 2. It's South Launceston by 5 points at the first change. able to repel. Clearing kick out there towards Gillow, battling away with Viney. Viney takes it. Got her hands free and then flicked it across to Krushka. Krushka dances around another, returns it to Viney. This is good football here from the Magpies, but in a bit of trouble now. Mather has to get rid of it, did so. Got it to Timperin, sends it inside 50, finds Irwin. They just kept chaining handballs there.
To drive them out of fullback. Kick was not too great though and turned over. Going back the way of the Dogs. Going back the way of the Dogs. Freestone with a high kick, it's good. And it ends up in Liana under a little bit of pressure from the defence. So Freestone to get her first. And to extend the lead, she goes, it looks pretty darn good. Goal umpire barely had to move, and that's her first of the afternoon. South Launceston get their second.
She'll follow up though, might be able to get one. Fires out the handball, the snap is looking good, it's there. It's Bonnie Farrell who snaps home, an immediate response for Scottsdale.
Don't vote for the council, for the stadium. They can buy the AFL. They can buy the AFL. Yeah, I agree with what he said there, but as far as well, as I say, what's your perspective on the pressure? Well, some of the pounds you don't
So we're back for quarter number 2, a 5-point lead for the visitors, South Launceston. They'll look to build on that in the second term. Scottsdale got that third goal of the term. We'll look to continue to claw their way back into this one. We'll see if there's any wind effect that might come into play. We'll learn about the second term as Bulldogs to break early on, but standing in the way of the Magpies and chipped up towards the half-forward line. Here's Viney, was good for her side in the first term. High ball inside forward 50. That's a strong defensive mark taken back there. Lions doing well. Reading it in the air, getting out to it. Searching ball for Morrison. Stoops and gathers and then darts inside. Will drive it down the line. Coming to spoil from behind Doohan. Brought it to the deck nicely, but Farrell Viney rather applying some pressure. Over the top, continuing on Morrison, just goes off the deck and did so cleverly. That was a really good play to Gillow. Gillow now sends them forward and finds a target. Quick handball off to Freestone. Freestone drives it inside the forward 50. Caught behind was Cocker. And they should be able to clear here. And will do so. High lofted ball to a contest though. Umpire spots a push. That'll bail out the Magpies.
Yeah, it was good. Good job by Hancock just to stay composed in that situation. I think it might have been Givens to clear this one out of the 50. Now out to Davies, trying to track this one down is Freestone. She's been here, there and everywhere. The big ruckman, fist or smother rather, came in by Stingle. Nice pick up here by Hall. Kick inside the forward 50. Out in front of Irwin, has a bit to do. Could have just socketed it off the ground, but didn't want to. She took it and they're still going through as we see Hall flick the hand pass off. Out to Farrell for goal number 2. It's hooking, and it'll bounce not very well for Scottsdale as this one's a point. But I tell you what, both teams coming out of defensive 50 and through the middle have been very good looking today, Drewy.
Yeah, they've moved the ball through the middle of the ground nicely. As we said, the first quarter was largely played in the forward 50 arcs because when they did get it out, times it was a struggle for both teams. When they did get it out, they got about the back and going. And that kick there was always working back against the wind and just held up and spun the wrong way. Yeah, probably didn't mind the decision to take it. Just the fumble let her down, really. Yeah. She had time to take it and get boot to ball, but once the fumble occurred, it was always going to be tough at that point. As this one is blocked off by Doohan, but unable to win the football. A battle now develops at ground level. Slapped out the back of the contest for Brewer, who tumbles a kick forward. Not a whole lot of purchase on it, and just seized upon by Krushka, and now they'll clear the area, blast it up towards the forward line, spilled out the back of Hogarth, and she'll get it back though, looks to bust through. Kick is dribbling, won't quite have the petrol tickets, or will it? It's picking up, it's spinning. I tell you what, it nearly got there, Bo. Not quite, nearly a remarkable goal there for Hogarth, not quite. And it is a 3-point margin.
Just offline, nearly. We see Corbett to bring this one out. No one was back in the 50 for South Launceston or even Scottsdale. I don't know where they all were. Maybe pushing up the field to have some pressure as Corbett drives this one out of defence, out in front of Freestone, nearly picking up, bowling it, and Hall's wearing her early. Krushka and Hall, the two big names in this team. Krushka hugging the boundary line, kick inside forward. 50 was intended for Irwin. Didn't quite get there. Farrell, and ball will beat all comers and tumble out of the boundary line for a throw in. Should look good. I think it's Bonnie Farrell in that forward line. Already kicked one. The lone goal kicker for Scottsdale is either ruckman decisively or either getting it zapped down. We see this one kicked out in front of Irwin. Lurking around was Stewart. Strong tackle laid there by Farrell. Stewart got a kick away in the nick of time, only as far as Hogarth to press them forward again. Out in front, a couple of South Launceston jumpers, and running into a jam is Gillow. Nice tackle laid by Vine, who had a good week against Launceston a couple of weeks ago. Might have been playing off the wing in that game against Lonnie. The 8-point defeat as Viney looks to regain the lead for the first time today. The kick looks pretty good. Splits the middle. Goal umpire nearly gets taken out, and Viney gets her first, and the lead is out to 3.
Yeah, did really well there, Viney, just to play on. Probably sensed she didn't quite have the distance she needed to go with the set shot over the player on the mark, so just wheeled out to her right, darted in, bought herself a few extra metres, and it just got over the fingertips on the line, so a very good decision indeed. A lovely finish from Anna Viney, and Scottsdale take the lead the first time this afternoon, and they have been the better side here in quarter number 2. They've really controlled the opening 5 minutes, and they get something to show for it on the scoreboard here. Lovely finish from Viney. Her and Farrell have looked lively down inside that forward line early. Can South Launceston respond here via Freestone, trying to get a clearance, but just overran the football. Kick around the corner from Hines, who was relentless with her pressure in the first term. Coming together there, just paddled away by the goal kicker Viney, then handballed over the top from Hogarth. trying to get through was Hines. Got a kick up in the direction of Stingle, and Hogarth continue to run and sends him inside 50, but parked behind the football was Caitlin Lyons. Intercepts nicely for the first time this afternoon. Tries to execute a bit of a switch here. Morrison, wheels out now, directing traffic. Asked for an option, then just missed the boot with the kick. That's invited some pressure. Stingle flicked the handball, might have got one high. And we'll get the free kick for it. There's Krushka waiting for the give. That's where she heads. Krushka loads up. Didn't quite catch that one right, though. It'll stay in play. Might arc back here for Irwin, who just looks to shield the ball and wait for some support to come. Then got boot to ball. Tried to snap. An outrageous angle. Couldn't beat the angle behind only. But Scottsdale firmly in the ascendancy in this quarter, but
there they are. They're pressing. South Launceston a little bit lost for answers at the moment. Coming out of defensive 50. It's been trapped down there. I think it's Gillow to clear this one out of defensive 50. Takes a bit of mileage and chucks it on the boot. Just a little bit too hot to handle there for Freestone. Viney might rove this one, wearing her like a glove. Is Gillow. She'll be taking in the tackle. Starting to open up here. Freestone, it was. Been handy in the ruck. There's Freestone and Kate Mather go at it again. Freestone winning the tap down. Ball bobbles out now to a couple of Magpies. Hand pass was off to Viney. Trickling ball forward. Just overrunning it there was Morrison. Big bump there was good by the Magpies player in Chloe Kelly. And some will be going the way of South Launceston. Streaming away with it is Morrison. Kick only as far as Jerome, I think is how we pronounce it. Just through the hands of her. Nice pick up there from Breward. Kick inside the forward 50. Cocker was the target, but spilling the beans was Hancock. Ball again bobbling out now to Breward. Flick the hand pass over the top to Richards. There's a couple of smothers and scrappy stuff. Big hit there. Flying over the top was Richards, I think it was, or Breward rather. And it'll be a free kick going the way of the Magpies.
Jeremy half back, but it's going to come right back at them via Gillow. Sets a high lofted ball, and that's well plucked there, Sulzberger. Looks at her options, squares it up now. A likely target was Freestone, but had it spoiled away from her by Rainbow. And they scrap away at ground level. Over the shoulder, says the umpire. Exasperated look from Freestone, but Rainbow sees it, then ran into trouble. Sulzberger forces the turnover, didn't see her coming. Handball back inside, following up Gillow, couldn't quite get the sit for her, and Krushka able to sweep it over the top to Stingle. Stingle now gets the ball moving, found the target of Hogarth, pushing up the ground here. We'll just wait for runners to get forward of the ball. There wasn't much ahead of us, so just pauses a moment. Now go with the set-up kick to half forward. The target was Farrell. It was taken away from her. Defending the situation, Corbett laying a tackle and winning a free kick. So Corbett wins a key battle there and then drives it down the wing. Good kick, spots up Gillow, been prolific. Immediately plays on and skips round Doohan. She'll get some meterage and then drive them inside the forward 50, but it's a good intercept by Hancock, drifting across to break things up at half back. She gets it moving quickly, kicks to a contest, almost brought down by Freestone, and a strong tackle laid by Gillow. Umpire will call for it. So they continue now end to end here in quarter number 2. Good battle developing, tight ball game. Anyone's contest. Gillow couldn't get a kick away. Brewer sends an opponent to the ground. It's worked around the corner. Contest to be won here, defended by Cherry. Get out of there, but not very far. It was blocked off by Doohan. They scrap at ground level. Doohan goes in and wins it. It couldn't get any clearance. Rainbow flicked it back. Now high ball, and they've got some options for the ball here. Hogarth takes it, drives them inside 50. They could be on out the back here. That's a strong mark from Irwin. Oh, give away a free kick, in fact. So South Launceston to take back over.
Unlucky stuff there from Scottsdale. Been all them early in this game and now drifting into the latter stages. Picked up there by Davies, just set upon by a couple of Magpies. Ball bobbles out now to Doohan. She gets taken in the jam. She'll be wrapped up, and as a spectator hotly points out, it was a good tackle there by Davies. Kate Mather in the ruck has been good. Going up against Freestone. Freestone winning this one down. Silver service off to Brado. Flicked the hand pass off to Davies. The kick was good from Freestone to clear the area momentarily. Over the top of it was Hines. And all going nowhere. It's been holding the football. Interesting call. So you see Freestone with ball in hand. The yarn of Freestone it is. For South Launceston, will drop a kick down the line, nearly through the hands there of Sulzberger, has been the lively target down forward. Flicking the hand pass off was Harrison into the middle of the ground, off to Gibbons. Hand pass just missed, back to Harrison. Her kick down the line is only as far as Freestone. Liana Freestone again, the skipper will try to drive them forward again. She'll have another crack at it. Off now to Gillow, running to the arc of 50, sets upon the goals. Hancock and Cocker out the back, and Hancock wins the battle.
So the defence doing well. Hancock finds the target at half-back. They've got themselves back into this quarter the last 5 minutes or so, South Launceston. Got some inside 50s, but just been unable to generate any scoring chances. Hancock's been vital back there for them, battling away for this one, Stingle. The numbers, though, favour the Dogs, and they'll clear it away via Brewer. Just tumbled a kick down the line. Didn't have the accuracy it was after. Couldn't find Morrison. And last touch, we'll see Leicester taking over for Scottsdale. A 4-point lead. And a tight ball game here. We expected it to be a close battle, and thus it has proved so far. Heads down the line, off hands. And just trickle out of play, and does in front of the Scottsdale bench. South Launceston kicked the first 2 goals of the afternoon. Scottsdale have responded with the past 2. Worked their way into a lead. Mather to battle with Freestone in the ruck here. Mather took front position. Freestone looks to get the clearance. Just got a handball away, but it was straight to Krushka. Krushka goes and fires it forward. Deflects around. Mate with the truck cruises past once more. Back to the boundary. They battle away. Handball fired out the back of the contest. Perhaps a chance for Barringer to get clear, but she ran into some trouble. Brewer's fought hard this quarter and maybe just copped a high one there. She did. So a free kick here and a chance for the co-captains to send her side forward here. Hayley Brewer been busy in midfield so far this afternoon. That kick a poor one though, straight down the throat of Krushka, who played on a little needlessly. Did she find the safety of the line in time? She did not. Free kick will go the way of Freestone. It was an ill-advised decision from Krushka. I think she realised it and tried to desperately find the boundary line, but the umpire says holding the ball. Kick up towards the half-forward line. Couldn't quite find Freestone. And off hands and out of play.
I don't know what the coach was complaining about, Drew. I mean, she played on and she got run into a little bit of trouble as she saw the boundary line and she thought she might go in that direction, but ultimately run down as free kick going the way of Freestone. She looked lively in the ruck and now driving her team forward once more. Kick into the 50 will only bobble out to Viney, who just left it behind. Off now to Gillow, who's been good. Flick the hand pass off to Breward from outside 50. Crocker out the back, nearly taking the mark. In fact, it was Cocker rather, not Crocker. And we see Harrison taking in the tackle. She's had a couple of good opportunities today, is Michaela Cocker. Tap down by Cocker. She might even drive her own football as it bobbles out now to Doohan. Ran herself into a jam, stripping and picking the pockets as Sulzberger gets her first of the day. Lead back to Launceston. Back to 2 points in the way of the red, blue and the white. And it was a nice pick-up and hand pass. And then Sulzberger has looked the good crummer and the good small forward down in that forward 54. The Bulldogs gets her first. A little bit of reward because she's had a couple of chances and finally gets that goal that's been eluding her for a little bit.
Yeah, it's just been the finish that's been lacking till that moment from Sulzberger. She's been really intelligent the way she's positioned herself and got into dangerous spots for her teammates to fire at handballs. Got on the end of a couple, hasn't quite finished that time. An instinctive finish. That was a wonderful, quick release through the middle. Scottsdale take the lead, and for a few inside 50s, didn't lead to a chance. They get the ball in deep and make it count. They're going to go in again here via Freestone. Sets it up towards the direction of Morrison. Handball there from Sulzberger was a good one. Got it back to Morrison. Gets her kick forward. Spoiling from behind was Cocker. Probably a good option because she spoiled it right into the path of the onrushing Morrison. But again, the situation pretty well defended. Tackle comes from Cocker. High ball won't quite clear the area. Out after this one is Viney. Did well. Took a nice bounce for her, and Viney dashes off half back. Launches it down the wing now. Tumbling ball. Who will the bounce favour? Scottsdale had numbers there. Corbett first to the football. Dishes the handball inside. Found Freestone. Freestone now lofting ball. Back the other way. It's pinballing around here. Perhaps an opportunity for Liana Freestone. She'll apply the pressure here. Under siege is Leicester. Going to be a free kick going the way of the Magpies. Just a tackle that lingered from Freestone. Relieves the pressure, and they immediately head wide. But set a task for Gibbons. Equal to it, gets there, then jinks back inside. Handball to Rainbow, but the pressure coming here, a little bit sloppy, and they force a stoppage. So 2 points the difference deep into quarter number 2. Anyone find another score before the siren? Unopposed in the ruck in the end, Mather. But she didn't quite make the use of it. Kicked it straight to Stewart. Well, back into dispute, some good body work here, and an opportunity for the Magpies. Timperens rather sends it inside the forward 50. First to the football, those lines left it behind. Oh dear, this could be very costly. Bearing down's Hogarth. Gets there in time, but clearing the area. Stewart wasn't a great kick. Waiting for it was Farrell. Farrell's kicked one already. Sets it up into a dangerous area. But it drifts out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, nearly for Farrell, but the kick wasn't a brilliant one. It was a one-on-one nearing the hot spot, but quite get it there as Richards will take this kick in a bit. Over 2 minutes to go. Through the hands of Krushka. It might end up back in the hands of her or Kelly. Take your pick. Bursting through was Freestone. Bowl out now to Rainbow. Flicking the hand pass off. Was a little bit too hot to handle there for Kate Mather as this one hugs the boundary line. And we'll see a throw in. And, well, in fact, it wasn't 2 minutes left. It was the siren right there, Drewy, as we see 2-5, 17 to 3-1, 19. The goal kick is for you. We got Hannah Viney with one and Farrell for Scottsdale, and Freestone, Sulzberger and Williams for the visiting team, South Launceston. They've looked good. I mean, this game sort of opened up a little bit. I mean, some free-flowing football from both teams out of the defensive 50. It looked good when it was in patches, but again, maybe just that polish inside forward 50 is the thing that's struggled for both of these teams, Drewy.
Yeah, South Launceston for a bit of that quarter had trouble kind of finding a target inside 50. I don't think their entries were particularly good. They didn't give their forwards much of a chance, and we saw Hancock down there just kind of sweeping up, playing a really good defensive role in particular. At the other end, they just, I'd say credit to the South Launceston defence in that first 5 or 6 minutes. They were really under pressure. Scottsdale seemed like they had all the momentum, but then South Lonnie, they started to win the ball back through the midfield, got on top. Been a really even game. Both teams have had periods in the ascendancy, and it just feels like one of those ones where you take advantage of your 5 minutes where you are on top, and that'll be the team that best does that's going to win this, because I think both teams are going to have the opportunities. It's a really even matchup for mine.
Absolutely. I think, like you said, both teams are in the hot spot or hot seat to win or take. Our second break here in the round 4 clash up at Scottsdale. It's currently South Launceston leading by 2 points. As far as Hogarth to press them forward again, out in front. A couple of South Launceston jumpers, and running into a jam is Gillow. Nice tackle laid by Viney, who had a good week against Launceston a couple of weeks. The 8-point defeat as Viney looks to regain the lead for the first time today. The kick looks pretty good, splits the middle. Goal umpire nearly gets taken out, and Viney gets her first, and the lead is out to 3.
Wins a key battle there and then drives it down the wing. Good kick, spots up Gillo, been prolific, immediately plays, gets some meterage and then drive them inside the forward 50, but it's a good intercept by Hancock drifting across to break things up at half back.
Kick into the 50 will only bobble out to Viney, who just left it behind. Off now to Gillo, who's been good. Flick the hand pass off to Breward from outside 50. Crocker out the back, nearly taking the mark. In fact, it was Cocker rather, not Crocker. She might even rove her own football as it bobbles out now to Doohan. Ran herself into a jam, stripping and picking the pockets. Is Salzberger, gets her first of the day. Lead back to Launceston. Back.
Well, I think this stuff went belly up when you do. Go right when you have to start work. Yes. Oh no, Kettle will come back next year and do 1 or 2 wins. This coach, you know, with the camera and get these blokes, they realise you put them in the ground. I know they changed it.
Marked it, and then the bloke kicked it back to him. Another 10 metres. I tell you what, he could play.
Oh, yeah, good.
They didn't do nothing last night. That's what I saw in the stats. Oh, that girl went and interviewed, you know, the one that's pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
And they put his stats up on the... I said, what?
Oh, when they were calling James Rose, how much you for the young year talking with?
Well, we didn't do any good after 3/4 time. Oh, he didn't do anything. I saw him tap one out, and he went through, and he got the ball out of there. Yeah.
Oh, the umpire there, I was waiting on a boy.
They only got an hour to finish the game. Throw it out. 2 minutes, wind it in, no bait. Went down there.
I've watched North Melbourne trying to win a game.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, no, there you go. Oh, it's good.
Welcome back to Scottsdale. It's currently South Launceston taking a 2-point lead into the second half. 2-5-17, 3-1-19. Not making the most of their opportunity. Scottsdale in front of the big sticks. But it was a pretty evenly matched first half. Let's see if any changes have been made and if anyone can really take this game on. Krushka in the middle I've liked, and Freestone in the middle. I mean, A couple of big bulls to go at it here at Scottsdale. Second half action coming up now as we see Freestone, Krushka, nice silver service. Tap down was good and a little bit of run and dash will hit up at teammate. And it will be Hines, I think it is, to go for goal here. Hot start early for the Magpies. For the perfect start, Taisha Hines will go on goal and was a spiralling ball, but Lions in the last line of defence will flick a hand pass off, pushing her opponent underneath. It is Hines, just had that kick on goal, but ball bobble out's a hole. And umpire calls for a ball up. Good entry inside forward 50 to start this second half off, Drury.
They get some scoreboard reward here. One down by Irwin, but going nowhere. Locked in there by Stewart. Stone right down convincingly again, but for the second time this quarter, it's Krushka looking to just take it anyway. She shoves off one, turns around onto the right. Krushka just couldn't quite direct it goalward. High into the pocket it floats. The mark taken back there by Richards, but at the moment Freestone winning the ruck contest, but sharking them is Krushka. Twice she's done it in the opening minute. Wide kick to a contest, spoiled away from Morrison, following up there Viney, but boundary line wins out.
Very, very good as Krushka been, Drury, in that middle.
Really powerful player, just that ability to burst clear of stoppages. So valuable. Toss back in here as Scottsdale doing the early attacking, just taken out of the ruck by Owen, then had to flick it towards the boundary line, applying some pressure. Viney able to see it out of play.
The throw in now, inside the forward 50 for the Magpies. Irwin and Freestone will contest this one. Freestone winning the tap down. Krushka again, just overrunning it. Kate Mather flicked the hand pass out. Overrunning it was Kelly. Now bursting through with a little bit of time and space as Kate Mather shrugged a couple of tackles, sizes up the goals right to the teeth, but ball didn't quite bounce for her. There is Samantha Davies in the fullback position. Here she is again, flicked the hand pass off, running into some trouble there is Stewart, and she's wrapped up. Good pressure by Scottsdale in their forward 50. It'll be a free kick to Launceston though. Battling away, standing up. Here's the defence of the Bulldogs, so free kick going the way of Stewart.
Really sure what that one was for, but maybe I thought the tackle lingered, but I thought it was holding the ball.
Yeah. Me too, Jory. That's why I was talking about the pressure from both teams. But anyways, we go through Jerome here. Kick to the forward 50 is wrapped up though by Breward.
Breward looking to relieve some pressure. That won't do it though. Her kick shut down by Krushka. Krushka fired off a handball to Hogarth. Draws a crowd, drew 6-2 and released it out the back then. Sliding in the football, Richards. They clear it away. Krushka again trying to crash her way through traffic, but Freestone will not release her. Strong tackle. Needs to be a strong tackle to stop Krushka. Rampaging bull right now, just bouncing off bodies. Freestone won it down, but straight to Hogarth. High ball marked by Hines, who had a set shot earlier in the quarter. Couldn't quite make the journey. This one a little closer to home. Opportunity to give her side the lead. Doesn't fancy the shots, so just fires one off into the pocket. That was well thought out. And there, waiting for it, was Farrell. Just kicked one this afternoon. See if she can double her tally here and hand Scottsdale the lead. A strong start to the third term. Can they get a goal to show for it? They certainly can. Dissects the middle. Bonnie Farrell has her second, looking a real threat down that forward line. And Scottsdale recapture the lead.
Yeah, she's looked very, very good down in that forward line as Bonnie Farrell. As you can see here, just the good overhead mark. I mean, a lot of times when you have someone running at you, you don't quite want to fully commit to it, but Farrell on that occasion did very, very well to stand underneath it in the set shot. There's nothing less than brilliant. So, regain the lead now to Scottsdale. Tight contest. And this one hasn't burst out to more than double figures for a while, as we see Hall now to drive them inside forward 50 once more. Standing underneath it there was Timperin rather. And we'll see the ball up right on the arc of 50. Hogarth at the bottom of that pack. Will be Freestone with the tap down. Very nicely done there to the co-captain in Broad. Kick it in the middle of the ground. Jeremy will shrug a couple of tackles and drive them forward once more. Who's going to stand underneath it just through the hands of a couple? And mopping up there was Richards. Flicking it off now to Freestone. Had a little bit of time and space and just dumped one on the boot out in front of a teammate. Good tackle from Harrison is good, and holding the football is the right call on that occasion. And Harrison will try rebound off half back.
Big win there from Harrison, though. Looking dangerous back the other way. She spreads the football. Lurking there is Viney, but unable to get it to it. It was a dual tackle aid. Again, Leona Freestone doing some tough tackling work. Forces the stoppage. Freestone rises high in the ruck, wins it down towards the boundary line, but work backwards, weaving through traffic. Viney. High searching ball. Just pitches in front of Stewart, who almost see it across the line. Stayed in, kicked just away in time. It's going to trickle across the line again. Lost back in though. Came from the defensive 50, so really dialing up the pressure in this quarter, Scottsdale. Firmly on tops. South Launceston have only gone beyond halfway once for the quarter. In lockdown this end, can they win a clearance here? Trying to follow up at ground level. Freestone works it down the line, but was through the hands there of Woods rather. Back come the Magpies. Here's Doohan. Set up kick. Dropping the mark, that'll invite some pressure. We got the handball away just in time. Towards the middle of the ground, big ball to be won here. Winning it was Sulzberger. That was really impressive. Showed some poise too. And now they might be out the back here if it'll sit for Gillow. She gathers, handballs back to Sulzberger. Didn't have much on, hesitated, and then allowed Doohan to run her down from behind. Just didn't have the option forward of the ball. That caused her to briefly hesitate. And in this game, you've just not had that kind of time, Bo Down.
Yes, very good rundown tackle from Doohan. Made the most of it as Viney will kick in the middle of the ground. Out to Alex Hall. A little bit of a lethargic build-up from Scottsdale as they kick to this outer wing. Big, strong mark, though, by Freestone. Will try get him back in the forward 50 through the hands there of Rice. And a couple of hand passes bobble around. Hall, Jeremy, again going forward. Scottsdale, they haven't been able to get past the halfway mark all that often, as it goes out to Temperin. Temperin with a stabbing kick forward, nearly off the hands of, I think it might have been Farrell, as this one goes to the teeth of goal. Irwin's lurking around for the Magpies. Taking in the tackle is Corbett. Hogarth off the ground! She gets her first. A little bit of luck needed there for Scottsdale, and they finally get the goal that they were searching for. And Hogarth, nice pickup, and just toe poked it really to the line as they get their fourth.
Ashley Corbett's had an excellent game today defensively. That's about the first mistake she's made, but it was a bad one. Just had to take that across the line. Instead, just slapped it back really into a dangerous area. There was Hogarth lurking. Just needed to kill that ball. Slapped it back into traffic. She's been outstanding today, Corbett. But that one, a costly mistake. And Scottsdale now out by 10 points. They've kicked 4 of the last 5 goals in this game after a good start from South Launceston. Suddenly, some work to do and trying to respond immediately. Freestone, she powers away from this stoppage. Couldn't find a target. Might be able to get something ground level. Freestone follows up. Might set sail for home herself. It's working back. The Marcus spilled a chance perhaps for Cocker. Protected the drop space well, and then missing one she should have had. Gillow, in fact, misses the lots.
should have got that.
Just rushed the kick a little. It was great work from Cocker to protect the space. She's done well in that regard today.
Yeah, very, very true, Drew. I mean, Cocker down there, good overhead, and then just shielded the ball. As Hancock will just have a dicey kick out. Cocker's going to try track this one down. Hancock with a soccer off the ground out in front of Morgan Rice, who picks this one up and hand passes it off to Jeremy. Jeremy to this outer wing, but only as far as Corbett, who will wheel and go. Has a little bit of speed to work with. Low ball, a pass inside forward 50. Nearly hanging onto it was Gillow. Out was Kate Mather. Over the head was Grace Gillow, and she'll be taking in the tackle. Low ball, a pass from Corbett. Nearly worked out. As we said, she's having a pretty good game for the Bulldogs. Tap down was one. Sulzberger just couldn't quite reel onto it, and we'll see another ball up inside forward 50 for the Bulldogs. They're pressing and pressing as we see Kate Mather on all fours, spinning out of trouble swiftly. There was Doon with a kick into the middle of the ground, but again only as far as Corbett, who just slaps one on the boot. High up and under kick, nearly works out for Freestone, and running over it was Jeremy. Picking it up was Gibbons and taking in the tackle. Should have been holding the football nearly. Umpire might have just missed that one, and the kick was not that great. It only ends up as far, I think it might have been Corbett to slap that one on the boot, and Cocker in a little bit of time and space to line up for her first. So maybe the footy gods just repaying the Bulldogs here for a couple of missed free kicks, as we see Michaela Cocker lining up to bring it back to 4 points, and just shanks the kick, and will be a behind.
Well, Ashley Corbett, I said, cost them one at the other end. She's won the ball back 3 times in the last 2 minutes and hit a target every single time. 2 of the marks were dropped, but talk about a great response. And she's making things happen at the other end of the ground. Just unable to find a goal to show for it, though. Scottsdale will do very well if they can escape this little period without conceding a goal, because they are right under pressure. And guess who's got it once more to launch a 4th attack inside 50. That kick, however, is turned over. Hines parked behind the football, intercepts. She drives them into the middle of the ground. That was a kick laced with risk and forces a turnover, following up Barringer. Couldn't keep a hold of it. Handball from Mason, then worked forward by Krushka up towards the half-forward line. Nicely defended back there, just paddled away by Stewart, but still the danger present. A chance for Farrell to get to this one. Richards beat it to it. Farrell got the ball though, got it out to Hogarth, stripped of the football. High ball up towards the wing. Will tumble out the back. A foot race here. First to it was Hines, but there were 2 in pursuit. Breward looking to shrug free. Just got the handball away. Back into the middle. Trying to make it happen was Davies. She was worked off the football. Flicked back by Morrison. Drifts towards the line. Happy to take it across is Doohan. It's a fierce battle at Scottsdale. They've made their move here in the 3rd term and down to a 9-point lead. South Launceston fighting back late in the quarter. Unable to find anything on the scoreboard. Meaningful sense just to show for it late in the term. They dearly love a goal before 3/4 time. And by spots, a hold of the jumper. Free kick will go the way of the Doggies.
So Freestone, Liana Freestone, one of the co-captains out there for the Bulldogs, will have ball in hand to drive them forward once more. Just on their terms at the moment for the Bulldogs. It's a kick inside to Sulzberger. Had some time and did well on the lead. Couldn't quite catch up with her, I think, is Hines on the mark. She'll go right to the teeth of goal. Cocker presents, but ball bobbling out to the back was Harrison, flicking the hand pass off now to Lester. Haven't called her name a lot, as we see her speed out of defence, but back in the direction of Corbett, who will flick the hand pass off to Freestone. Had some time and space, but the hand pass just missed. Slung around in the tackle, got rid of it. And again, Jeremy will burst out with some speed, but it might be coming back. Launceston really, or South Launceston rather, if I can spit it out with the numbers. Krushka breaking one tackle so eloquently, will drive them forward once more. Farrell was the option and just burst through the hands of her. Soccering ball forward. Hogarth in a foot race. Last line is Lions. Couldn't quite pick it up though. Needed to pick it up. She eventually does. And flicks it out in front of Woods. Has a bit to do, but does it well, but only turning it over to Stingle. And Farrell slapped it on that left boot, but last sign of defence, I think, is Richards. Corbett just couldn't quite pick the ball up. Pressure displayed there by Farrell. It's hot in the kitchen. Umpire letting this one play out for a while, and South Launceston just with the clearing hand pass, but again, scrappy stuff. On all fours was Woods, and they finally get that clearing kick out, but only as far as Viney.
Important they held on there. South Launceston at the back. They can ill afford to concede another one before three-quarter time, especially off the back of a pretty good period of the game. It would really sting them to concede one now, but they're going to be facing some danger here. Mather just takes her time, assesses the options, and wheels out to her right. Curls one back centrally. Trying to repel was Richards. Couldn't quite do so. Forced through. Freestone first to the fall of the ball, and then just drives through some traffic with authority. Drives it back out towards the wing, looking for Sulzberger. Surrounded by Magpies, fought a good fight, and that allowed Barringer to come in and help out, and she works it further afield. One-on-one, they're the only players forward of the ball here. It's Hancock up against Cocker. Hancock just too nimble. Though a chance for Brewer now, left it behind, went back and got it. She's surrounded here, dives in at the football. High clearing kick away up towards the middle of the ground. Important moments here before the three-quarter time siren. Can they find a way via Freestone? Works it up towards the 50, but they're able to rebound once more. And a marking target is found in the form of Stingle. Perhaps a chance now for the Magpies. Lofted up, and it's a strong mark taken there by Farrell. She's kicked two, but this will be beyond her, so she just opts to cleverly square it up instead. Some good composure, and Krushka skips around one, just got run down in time. Probably a goal saver, that one. Ball back in dispute inside the forward 50. Scrapping away for its Hines. Krushka steals it away. She's slung to the deck, just got the handball away in time, though they might hold on here, the doggies. Corbett repels, sends it up towards the halfway point of the ground. Ball to be won here, final minute of the term. Williams sets it out in front of Brewer. Didn't take a kind bounce, didn't take a kind one for Harrison either, though. Let Brewer back in, and a jumping tackle. Will it be rewarded? It won't. Dangerous, says the umpire. Well, damn stiff there, Hayley Brewer, and the Magpies will take over.
What a passage of play. No one taking the most of the opportunities as Harrison kicks this one to the outer wing. There might just be a little bit of time to create something as Freestone takes the advantage. South Launceston edging so closer to that goal. It's a nice mark to Sulzberger. Kicked one, but this one might just be beyond her range. She'll square this one up. Very, very good eyes. And spots up Brewer. They finally get a shot on goal, both of these teams, or they might just go for it as Hayley Brewer to send them forward. But Jeremy does well to nudge her opponent. Base Gillow out of position, and a hot term. A hot end to that term. Andrew Cooling, 4-5-29 to 3-2-20. Scottsdale taking a 9-point lead. No one really making the most of their opportunity. It was going end-to-end stuff, but no one really getting a clear opportunity on goal, Drewy.
Yeah, in the last 10 minutes or so, scoring was at a premium, but crucially, Scottsdale got those two early goals in the quarter, made their move, and it gives them a handy little break here heading into the last quarter on a day where goals have been tough to come by. It's certainly been open, but if they get one more in the final term, it's going to make things tough for South Launceston, who responded well after the first 7 or 8 minutes of that quarter. They were battered. They were absolutely under siege. Got back on top of things as the quarter wore on, and it was Scottsdale's defence who was suddenly under pressure, and to their credit, held up really well. I think you've got to give credit to both sets of defences here today. It's been a game that's flowed really well. Both teams have been put under pressure. They've held up well. Stage is set for a pretty interesting final term.
Absolutely. It's Scottsdale by 9 points. Who will take the 4 points? A very crucial 4 points it is. We'll take our last break here. Don't go anywhere because it's a 9-point lead going the way of the Scottsdale Magpies. We'll be back very shortly.
Freestone won it down, but straight to Hogarth. High ball marked by Hines. who had a set shot earlier in the quarter. Doesn't fancy the shots, so just fires one off into the pocket. That was well thought out. And there, here in hand, Scottsdale the lead. A strong start to the third term. Can they get a goal to show for it? They certainly can. Dissects the middle. Bonnie Farrell has her second, looking a real threat down that forward line. She gathers, handballs back to Sulzberger. Didn't have much on, hesitated, and then allowed Doohan to run her down from behind. Just didn't have the
bobble around. Hall, Dramey, again going forward. Scottsdale haven't been able to get past the halfway mark all that often as it goes out to Temperance. Irwin's lurking around for the Magpies. Taking in the tackle is Corbett. Hogarth off the ground. She gets her first. A little bit of luck needed there for Scottsdale, and they finally get the goal that they were searching. That great. It only ends up as far. I think it might have been Corbett to slap that one on the boot, and Cocker in a little bit of time and space to line up for her first. Paying the Bulldogs here for a couple of missed free kicks as we see Michaela Cocker lining up to bring it back to 4 points, and just shanks the kick, and will be a behind.
Well, actually called
Anna Freestone, one of the co-captains out there for the Bulldogs, will have ball in hand to drive them forward once more. Just on their terms at the moment for the Bulldogs. It's a kick inside to Sulzberger. Had some time and did create something as Freestone takes the advantage. South Launceston edging so closer to that goal. It's a nice mark to Sulzberger. Kicked one, but this one
like 1 week. Yeah. Although he does play.
Yes, welcome back to Scottsdale Oval. The final quarter thriller is on the cards here. It's only 9 points, the difference going the way of Scottsdale, 4-5 to 3-2. That last 10 minutes was some of the most captivating stuff we've seen all day here at Scottsdale, and hopefully this quarter doesn't disappoint either. An early goal to South Launceston will really put the Magpies on the back burners. So We just wait for everyone to get in position here. Final quarter action. Shaping up to be a thriller. Kate Matherin. Richards now in the ruck, or maybe it was Temperin in the ruck for the Magpies. This one is won by Richards. Maybe just forgot which way she was going, but the ball might fall in the lap of Krushka. Goals have been hard to come by, and they need to get an early one. Temperin just got stripped of it by her own teammate in Hall as they drive themselves inside forward 50. A couple of Launceston jumpers surround the contest. Flicking it back there was Cherry, and the high up and under kick was intended for Richards. Got there in the end, but ball didn't quite sit as kindly as she would have liked. Krushka with a kick to the 50. Pick it up is Irwin. Over a under kick there was not great, and Hogarth and Corbett will mop up on defence. Who's had a really sound game today for the Doggies. Couple of Magpies jumpers surround it. Hall with a high up and under kick. Coming out to meet it there was Davies, and scrappy stuff to start this quarter off. On all fours is Rainbow. Tried to flick the hand pass off. Freestone's going nowhere.
So Scottsdale in to make the first move in quarter number 4. Decisively one down. It'll be Freestone first to the fall of the football, and she skips clear and drives a low bullet down the wing. It was a good one. Found its way to Barringer. Keeps them moving. Searching kick almost broken up there though by Girami, but then the pressure came. Just taking off the kick was Williams. Some support from Hall. Goes back, and they're able to clear it out of there by Harrison. Ducks under a tackle and copped a high one in the process, so that'll be a free kick the way of the Magpies. Centre wing. Scottsdale leading by 9. Lofts the kick, but lofts it straight down the throat of Gillow. Assesses the options. And now called to play on. Gets good purchase on the kick. Drives it up, but just fell short. Harrison got there to spoil. Turns straight over. And Richards will send the Dogs forward.
Richards to wheel and go. Looking for the first goal of the term. Spots up a teammate. It's a good option. It's Jaslyn Freestone to wheel and go. It's a high up and under kick. Who's going to sit underneath it? Harrison did. Flicked the hand pass up. In fact, it was Mason. And the kick out of defence was solid, but it might be coming back in. Coming out to meet it. Soccering it forward was Stingle. Just got pushed off it. Working well is Barringer. And taking in the strong tackle is Davies. It'll be another ball up. Inside. Centre square it looks like. With the Scottsdale ruckman, so Richards just ripped it out of the ruck and hand passed it off to a teammate who dumped it, but ball didn't sit kindly for Mason. Rainbow, rather. And we'll see another ball up. So Richards winning that tap down. Clearance kick in the forward 50 now for South Launceston. Coming out was Harrison. Couldn't quite pick the ball up. Freestone had a fresh airy. Sulzberger spotted up a teammate and was good vision. It hits up Hayley Breward. Breward with a stabbing kick forward. Back out to Sulzberger. Has a lot to do, and coming out first was her opponent in Girami. Being stripped of the football there is Williams. Already got one today. Will be a ball up.
So the Scottsdale defence under pressure here. South Launceston looking to cut the lead back to 3. Harrison did well in the ruck, and again roving as Krushka, and again just bust through a tackle. She's busted through a few of them today. It's a good kick too. Found Hogarth at half forward. Just has to wait for a few runners to get forward of the football. Then didn't quite catch the kick as she would have liked. Just kind of towed it in the end. Killed round the corner by Cherry. Straight down the throat of Krushka. Outstanding Ronnie Krushka. Floats one. Throws the mark of Hogarth. And plays on. Sends it inside forward 50. Not quite. It will be marked at the edge of the square rather. A little dish from Temperin. Off hands. Try and repel this one. Handball back into danger though, coughed it up, now an opportunity, stripped of the football was Hogarth. And the reddest of red-hot holding the ball decisions. We'll see a free kick going the way of Cherry.
Must be lost for car parks out there at Scottsdale. They've been driving around the oval a lot as we see Cherry to kick this one out of defence. It might have been fisted away there by Brewer. Kick it in the middle of the ground, right on the bullseye. Sets it out in front of Freestone. Just struggling the tackle, does well, and flicks it off to a teammate to send them inside forward 50. A couple of Pies jumpers remain at the back of the contest. Flicking it back, just overrunning it was Williams. And holding the football was the call, and umpire doesn't oblige. Tap down from Freestone. Might have just hurt the ankle, and coming out to meet it is Cocker. Shrugged her opponent off it and got the hand pass away. She's still working very hard, and Hall shrugging on the boundary line. We see this one to Jarami. Jarami now just takes the bounce, and the ball didn't quite sit for her. Ran herself in a little bit of trouble. Freestone coming over the top of her. On all fours is Hall. Taking in the tackle, and we'll see a ball up.
Cruel bounce there for Jarami. Not what she was looking for. Did not rise at all. Just rolled along the deck. Sold her into trouble. Gives South Launceston another chance to launch forwards here. Freestone came over the top. Hancock just swung a boot at it. Round the corner from Williams. Marks plays on quickly, and Sulzberger was all on her own. 15 out from goal. A rush of blood taking the shot on there. Just needed to square that one to Lucy Sulzberger. Not for the first time today, taking up an excellent position.
Had a bit of time as well. I don't know why she had to play on it. I think it might have been called a mark.
So Harrison clears the defence. They've absorbed a lot of pressure in the opening 7 minutes here, the Magpies. Defence holding on well. Davies stripped of the football. Brewer gets her kick forward. They're going to have some more defending to do here. Sulzberger locking up. Doing forces a stoppage 60 metres from home. 8 points in arrears. Done all the attacking this quarter. Nothing really to show for it on the scoreboard. Brewer might be able to get them forward again, but she was worked off the football by Lester. Richards running away for it. Gathers, but was immediately claimed. And another ball up.
Ball up on the edge of the square. Getting closer and closer each possession. Richards coming out to meet it is Freestone. Good pick up, but ran herself into a jam instantly. It was good by Mason just to keep the tackle in. Had to fix up the hair before she went anywhere to Kruska and shrugged the tackle and drives them forward once more. But coming out to meet it is Woods. Michaela Woods now at half back to try drive them forward again, but kick wasn't brilliant. It was dicey. The mark wasn't taken by Stingle, landing in the lap there of Gillow. Kick forward to the edge of the 50. Coming out to meet it though is Gibbons. Nicely done with the shrugging tackle, and the kick inboard to the corridor, spotted up a teammate. Kruska. Just an in and out kick was intended for Hogarth, but couldn't quite make anything of it. Corbett took the hand pass off, put her teammate in a lot of pressure. It was Sam Morrison will be taking in the tackle, and again, ball just bobbling out. The umpire letting it go for a little bit of time. Hogarth flicking it out in front of someone, but Corbett intercepts and tries to get this kick away. She does well to Freestone, who runs herself into a little bit of a jam. Look at all the Magpies jumpers surrounding the contest. Everyone just stopped. They thought it was holding the football. Back out to Breward. Breward out to Richards. Richards just got dived on it. Free kick going the way of Scottsdale. Hanavani.
So the Magpies lead this one by 8 points. Halfway mark of the final term. Sets it up towards half forward. Bounce eluded Woods. Mason handballed back inside, but Corbett was there to shut that down. Tight to the line. Stoppage looming. Umpire says, I'll have it, Hines. Locked up. Tossed back up. In the ruck decisively. First hand's Breward. Handball went nowhere. Follows up with a good tackle. Umpire lets it go. Freestone trying to get it out of there and did so. Did well. Got it to Breward, who sends it further afield. Shut down there by Kelly. who sends it up towards the half-forward line. Charging off half-back again, Corbett did really well. Got it to Williams. High, searching kick, almost. Not quite brought down by Morrison. Now Hall, the skipper, sends the Magpies forward. Dangerous looking kick and found a marking target in Hines. She's been impressive today. Wheels out to her left. Sets it up. High to the pocket. But again, the defence holds firm. They won't get a score out of this one. Haven't had a lot of defensive work to do this quarter. Have the Dogs as Davies. Oh, that's a dicey kick. Coughs it straight back to Hines. They're going to have some more defending to do now.
Hines now looking to send them inside forward 50 and I think get the first goal of the term, standing underneath it. And now running out was Stewart. Stewart with a kick just to a little bit of grass and puts herself under pressure because it was to no one in particular. Viney shrugged one tackle, can size up the goals from here. Hannah Viney can go all the way home. And it gets there. Her seconds. First of the term for the Dogs. For the Magpies rather, and Viney squared it up. Did well. The kick was very, very risky from the Dogs. It was really to no one, just to clear the area momentarily, but Viney ate that up, and that's a 14 points.
Yeah, that might be the sealer for Scottsdale. 14 points ahead. South Launceston need 3 goals in the final 6.5 minutes. They've only got 3 all afternoon. It's a steep task, and just some individual brilliance really from Viney. Just got around a tired Stewart who'd worked to get to the football. She was second to it, and that allowed Viney just to, with a head of steam, skip around her, and fantastic finish. They've got it all to do now, the Bulldogs. Going to be very, very difficult. They threw all the punches in the opening 10 minutes. Scottsdale absorbed. They've hit them decisively back the other way. They need a quick clearance and goal here to be any chance. They're going to get a free kick, which will give them the chance for the clearance. Freestone, the beneficiary. Get things moving. Wheels out to her right. Central ball is a good one. Finds a mark. Sulzberger, is she just too far out to score though?
Been good, Sulzberger, all day.
Being a live wire down there. She is too far out, so we'll just hand off to Corbett. Was under pressure, so she had to handball to Freestone. They get it moving. Might find its way back to Sulzberger. No, instead it was picked up by Bruin, who sends it through the middle, and there's still a pulse for South Launceston. They hit back with an immediate response. Cuts the margin to 8. They still need 2 goals in the final 5.
A big task, but you never know. Just pressing and pressing have the Bulldogs. Haven't given up just yet. Good mark behind the goals by that spectator as well. So back to 8 points. Hasn't been a burst out at all. I think maybe the biggest margin was 10 or 11 points all day, so it's been close and hot in the kitchen. We go back into the middle. Kate Mather, a big job to do. Freestone. Ball just bobbling around in the middle. Krushka, who else was going to win the clearance but her, sending them forward. Out in a little bit of time and space is Hines. And we'll see another ball up. One more goal will do it, but South Launceston can get this clearance. You just never know as they will get that. Gillow, again, tumbles one to a little bit of grass. The half-forwards have to pick this one up. Jarami nearly with a one-handed pick-up, did well. A couple of Dogs dive on her. It's a 4-pack. And we'll see a ball up.
The time of the essence here for South Launceston. There is time enough though if they're good enough. About 4 minutes remaining here. They find 3 late goals. They've fought back one of them. 2 more to go. Fascinating battle all afternoon. No one able to get a clearance here. Repeat stoppages, Hall diving on top of it. Mather and Freestone. Mather won it down. Another first possession for Krushka. She's been so good in the clinches today and just gets this one with one arm. Skip round one. Freestone just got a jumper from behind though. And now Corbett. Now standing off half back. That not so outstanding. Right down the throat of the opposition skipper. Ball. No need to rush here. Can eat some crucial seconds off the clock and then try and get plenty of distance on this kick. Working her way to the football Hines. Will to spoil it. Just paddled forward by Timperin and sets it up. Mark taken there by Hogarth. She'll send them inside here by hand. Found its way through to Viney. Viney bats to Hogarth. Hogarth has a wide open target. All on a lonesome was Rebecca Irwin, who surely will take her full measure of time here. Whether she's going to have a shot or not. She'll go back. Capable from this range. She's just pushed this one across the face though. It's out on the full. So a chance for South Launceston to go, but they've got to go quickly.
What a terrible result. It was a goal that would have been even, but back in the hands now of the Dogs. So it'll be Corbett to drive this one out of defence. It was a spiralling ball. It wasn't brilliant. It just skittled Michaela Woods. Coming out there was Doohan. Had a bit of time to get the hand pass away, and she might have got the hand pass away, but the umpire disagrees. Free kick going the way of Ruard. Corridor kick is where she goes. Just through the hands of Lyons. Couldn't quite complete the deal. In there is Krushka. How good she been today. Nearly bursting the tackle. Had to hold the hand. Freestone did in order to strip the ball of her. And as the seconds start to tick down here, not long left. Freestone and Mate Mather being good in the ruck all day. Ball just tumbling out. Pick up there was from Kelly. She just got stripped cold. And again, Magpies with the numbers at the crucial times. Flicking out was Lester. Off to Krushka, going nowhere. I don't know if she had a lot of time to get rid of that, but the umpire thought she did. And a little bit of argy-bargy at the moment, 50 metres.
Well, that'll march them down into scoring territory. A little bit of ill discipline there. They really need to go quickly here, though. They've got to kick 2 goals. They've only got a minute to do so. Door ever so slightly ajar. Freestone can find a target here. She'll drive it in deep. Can they find a mark? No, it's spoiled away nicely. Work towards the line by Rice. Sulzberger lurking. Freestone gets there. Snaps from downtown. It's a beautiful looking kick. Oh, bounces backwards. Oh, so unlucky. Hurried clear and kick away. Working to it is Cocker. Had some support there as the snap came from Williams. Off hands to the line. Oh, missing it. A fresh area there from Morrison. Well, I don't think it would have mattered anyway. There's only seconds left, but could have given them one last crack at it. Couldn't get both the ball, and there is the final siren. And they hold on, Scottsdale. They were really pushing that last quarter by South Launceston, especially in that first 10 minutes, but some tremendous defensive efforts. See them hold on. They did the job in the third quarter, and that wonderful goal from Hannah Viney was enough to secure the victory in a pretty heroic performance from Krushka in midfield too. Won some big contests in that last term. The Magpies win a cracking game of football by now. Yeah,
from the games that I've seen of Krushka, she just does that week in and week out. She's a brilliant midfielder. Both teams' defences, though, I mean, get an A+ rating, I think. Only giving up the 5 and the 4 goals. That's a pretty good effort by the defence, as you said. I think Corbett, we mentioned her from South Launceston, had a couple of good moments, and although it's only a goal and a couple of points apiece, I mean, it definitely didn't seem like that. It felt a lot closer. I think maybe 1 or 2 points it felt like, because you thought that South Launceston were going to come back, and they didn't quite get the chocolates, but both teams will be pretty proud of the effort that they showed out there today, Drewy.
Yeah, if Williams gets a toe, a pinky kind of on that ball at the end, it probably does end 33-35. But no, a tremendous game of football. I think 2 pretty evenly matched teams who gave it all. Both will probably feel they had the opportunities to win. South Launceston, I think if they could have been just a little bit tidier inside 50, maybe they could have got up, but credit to both teams. I thought it was a wonderful contest, and Scottsdale deserved the victory. We're just a little more efficient inside forward 50, but 2 very evenly matched teams, and I look forward to seeing them play again later in the season.
One of 3 games here on the AFL Tas YouTube channel. Stick around. We got a game at, I think it's 3:20. It'll be Wynyard taking on Devonport, so stick around for that. But from Scottsdale Oval, it's the Magpies taking 8 points. The win and 4 points on the table. Bow down to Andrew Cooling. It's been a pleasure to bring this one to you. Bye for now. Teammate, and it was good vision. It hits up Hayley Breward. Breward with
the lead back to 3. Harrison did well in the ruck, and again, roving as Krushka, and again just bust through a tackle. She's busted through a few of them today. It's a good kick too. Found Hogarth at half forward. Just has to wait. Ronnie Krushka floats one. Finds the mark of Hogarth. And plays on. Sends it inside forward 50. Not quite. It'll be marked at the edge of the square rather.
She went anywhere to Krushka and shrugged the tackle and jobs him forward once more. But coming out to meet it is Woods, Michaela Woods now.
Now Hall, the skipper, sends the Magpies forward. Dangerous looking kick and found a marking target in Hines. She's left, sets it up, high to the pocket. But again, the defence holds firm. They won't get a score. This quarter have the Dogs as Davies. Oh, that's a dicey kick, coughs it straight back to Hines. They're going to have some more defending to do now.
Stewart with a kick, just through a little bit of grass and puts herself under pressure because it was to no one in particular. Viney shrugged one tackle, can size up the goals from here. Hannah Viney can go all the way home. And it gets there. Her seconds. First.
Get things moving, wheels out to her right. Central ball is a good one. Finds a mark. Sulzberger, is she just too far out down there? She is too far out, so we'll just hand off to Corbett. Was under pressure, so she had to handball to Freestone. They get it moving. Might find its way back to Sulzberger. No, instead it was picked out by Breward, who sends it through the middle, and there's still a pulse for South Launceston. They hit Bill to spoil it. Just paddled forward by Timperin and sets it up. Mark taken there by Hogarth. She'll right here by hand. Found its way through to Viney. Viney bats to Hogarth. Hogarth has a wide open target. Clear and kick away. Working to it is Cocker. Had some support there as the snap came from Williams. Off hands to the line. Oh, missing it, a fresh area there from Morrison. I don't think it would have mattered anyway. There's only seconds left, but